Thanks for taking the time to have this chat with me. Just for a bit of background, your artist name, one of the artist names you go as is The Pinch. And you've just released your latest album, Selling Hope, Buying Time. Is that your fourth album or fifth album out now?
It's like it's gonna be my first album.
Is it your first album?
It's like my
Okay.
fourth EP. So I've
Okay, your
released
fourth your
this.
fourth EP. Yes, right, that's it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's just four songs now, but I'm gonna add songs in the next couple months, and
Okay.
it's basically it's designed to be an album, but I
Yeah.
didn't want to drop all songs at once, just bit by bit. So I started with four songs, and now I'm gonna add the song every 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay, well, it's super cool. I mean, I was listening to it when you released it. I think it was in August you released it somewhere around then, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah. So it
correct.
was, yeah. So it was super cool to listen to. And the reason I'm reaching out to you was basically because I lost a friend and through suicide, and suddenly that kind of got the wheels turning. Like, hey, I should create something that's available for artists, because there's so much information, and with information comes misinformation. And well, you know this, so it's like really
Yeah.
hard as an artist today to source out information because, in my opinion, like you kind of go onto YouTube and then there's a million guys giving you opinions about everything, and then that sort of changes your perspective psychologically, and then you suddenly trying to live your lifestyle based on that manner,
Yeah.
and you don't know how much research is done into it. So just yeah, in terms of T's and C's, this is not like a channel where we're claiming that we're therapists or anything like that. It's just two artists having a chat together, and that's why I reached out with you. So
Yeah,
thanks so much for taking the time from Vienna today to have this chat with
of
me.
course.
Yeah,
Anytime, bro.
yeah.
Anytime.
So off the cuff, your track Brain Dead, you released a video with Melly as well, which is super cool. So
Yeah.
it's got another well-known European Berlin-based artist like yourself, and you've got him playing the lead character in the background while you sort of singing around. That video's on Instagram and on social media. And
Yeah.
interesting thing is you kind of see Melly with the cell phones and just like totally addicted and your poetry and your rhymes that go with it, they really caught me because I was like, okay, this guy has experienced something, and he's sharing these words. So I wanted to delve in a bit deeper with you on that, and kind of find out as an artist and a creator, how do you navigate not falling into the social media trap?
Well, the truth is I fall into it, mate.
Yeah,
Like
man.
every
Yeah,
time. So
yeah,
um yeah, it's a bit of a balance to strike. So
yeah,
in the previous years I kind of stood away from social a bit and from the socials, and I was like I don't really want to mess with this too much because the way I see it, these platforms are designed to be highly addictive. So essentially, they're destroying society to a certain degree or aspects of how we live
yeah,
together. So I think there are very positive sides to it. Obviously, when we look at how power functions and who's got power over information.
sure.
So social media kind of reopened that game,
Yeah,
and new players came to the scene. So that's something positive. But on a personal level, when it comes to me being a consumer using it, I think the effects are very detrimental, and it's just the way it's designed. So if anyone would tell you like, yeah, heroin is
yeah,
super addictive, of course, and you'd say, well, yeah, but there's a responsible way to to use heroin, I'd be
sure.
like, okay, mate, sure. You might be
Yeah,
right, but I have my
yeah,
doubts. I think
yeah,
it's the same with social media, but then again, I realized, but not promoting my music in the last years, the stuff I released before, it didn't get me anywhere.
yeah,
That's a problem these days as an independent artist. That's
sure.
where you happen essentially.
Yeah.
And if you don't happen on social media, there are other ways, but it's slow, it's very hard.
Yeah,
And even, in the real world, there's a lot of obstacles for independent artists. It's very hard to do your own booking, to get good concerts, to grow. You can
totally.
get bookings, but to actually grow from year to year without social media, I don't know. It might be possible. It's very hard. So
Yeah,
that's why I reconsidered my relationship with social media and decided for this release to use it and to do a lot of content and kind of play by the book.
yeah,
But I have realized that in this time, so my idea was I'll just do the content, I'll post it. Then after posting it, I'll give it a couple hours to interact with people who write comments, and then
cool.
I'll step away from it. In
Yeah,
theory, it sounds like
yeah,
a great idea, but
yeah.
these things are so tricky, man. So in the end, I found myself scrolling through, Instagram, TikTok,
To
through
totally, and
Reels, getting
that,
sucked into the vortex.
that's the well, that's what I wanted to ask you because you quite I would want to say you it seems like you know what you're doing and you study and you research your social media and all of that because
Yeah,
I've seen your stuff that you've been posting since we met, so
yeah,
it's like you know the system of social media marketing. You see the importance of it as well. It's literally free marketing as well.
yeah.
It's at the same time, which allows you to engage with your audiences.
I'd
um
say it's not free.
yeah,
There's a price you pay
there
for it,
is a
but
price you pay. That's the next point I
I
was getting
mean,
to. It's
yeah,
not really free because
yeah,
like I mean you're a touring artist. You're performing. If there's anyone that defines an artist, that's what you're doing. You're releasing
yeah.
material. You're writing stuff. You're performing regularly. You have an amazing community. You kick ass at what you do. But at the same
Thanks.
time, it's like but at the same time that must have a toll.
Yeah.
Because you're constantly pushing and you're constantly pushing on that. And I just with all the like, which takes me on to the next question is like, with all the podcasts and the information overload being shared, how do you know what to select? Because you obviously know you do your research before you make your posts. It seems like you have a strategy that you kind of
Yeah.
creating. Like so like me, you must go online and see what's in our industry, what the latest trends are, and navigating that. So how do you know what to sift through? That's like it seems like a very easy question, but how do you do that? Like I mean, with all the shit and rubbish that's out there, like what do you do?
I mean, it's a good question, I think. So, and I don't think there's an easy answer to it. So generally, as you've kind of hinted at it, I think so. So my perception as an artist, I see myself a bit like a journalist,
Yeah.
but not just
Totally.
limited to like news or geopolitics, but also, philosophy and other and generally society, interaction, communication, relationships. Basically artists try to do research on all these aspects. You get inspired by something and then you want to get to the bottom of it, right?
Yeah.
And express it artistically, I guess. I'm not saying that's like the approach every artist should have. It's just the approach I have.
Sure.
So I do a lot of research and I read a lot. I've always been interested also in politics, geopolitics. So that's in my
Yeah.
music as well.
Definitely.
And yeah, how do I select the source as well? I think it's kind of a lot of it is experience and having, been misled. So I'm very critical of legacy media, mainstream media.
Sure.
To me, I look at the power structures and then I see how the people acting in these structures, they're not free. They're
Yeah.
sort of very, very much dependent on other people's, or they're easy to be blackmailed or whatever. It's complex, but there there's not really people acting in freedom there. So I'm critical of that, and there's a lot of examples where the masses have been fooled with force flag and all these kinds of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. Yeah.
It happens
Totally. I
again
get
and
you.
again, so I'm generally just critical, and at some point you kind of get a feeling for when a narrative is bullshit.
Yeah.
Because
So you're going more with your intuition on this.
yeah, there's kind well,
Right.
it's intuition based on experience,
Of course.
Then
Yeah. Right.
there's kind of red flags, and you'll realize like, oh, okay. I mean, as an example, the Charlie Kirk assassination.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Immediately there's the guy who did it. Immediately there's this confession from his dad or whatnot. There's the
Yeah.
weapon.
Yeah.
Everything's in
Yeah.
place. 9/11
Yeah,
immediately, so, Osama bin Laden, and it's
yeah,
all
yeah,
clear, and
yeah,
and then they find
yeah.
the passports and everything,
Sure.
and that's just one red flag, and then that
Yeah,
kind of then you can look closer, and then probably a lot of other red flags will pop up, or they
yeah,
don't, and you might have been wrong, and
yeah.
that's a
Sure,
possibility too.
sure.
But that is kind of my strategy to go around things,
Yeah, yeah.
and yeah,
Which is a good strategy. I mean,
yeah,
it's a good strategy. So you kind of based on your knowledge and your experience, you using it to navigate like, hey, is this bullshit? Because I mean, let's in terms of being an artist, you see my red flags, I would suppose, is you see like all these people promoting and pushing stuff, and then when you actually go and see their numbers or you go into their profile, they're not performing. They
yeah,
like these are my things. They're not actually
yeah,
gigging.
true,
They just everything's on social media. They're not really releasing music, and you can kind of sift it out. You can. It's
yeah,
like, oh, this guy who's talking to you about social media strategy or something like that is literally not a performing artist, not writing music.
yeah.
He's just
He's
using the algorithm, and that he's
yeah.
churning out
He's trying to
the
sell a
same.
book usually,
He's
right? He's trying to
trying to
sell
sell a book,
something.
trying to sell a book. So that's my flags based on experience. And
Yeah,
I'm like, why
yeah,
am I getting this information? But there's a lot of artists, there's a lot of like up and coming artists, there's a lot of established artists who are using these cues from these guys. And then when their career isn't working, they kind of wondering like, this is my problem. They're taking this
yeah.
onto themselves, and then
True.
they're not creating. Then they start to go into this further. I know it happens with me as well, and
Yeah,
it's one of those things that one must navigate and be careful with. Which takes me on to
true.
the last question for today. Your number one tip. What's your number one tip that you would give off the top of your head if I was to ask you, what's your tip for managing social media addiction?
Ooh.
You
Well,
must, there must be, yeah,
speaking as an addict
yeah,
myself,
yeah.
so I try to step away from it every now and
Okay,
again for longer periods, and I try to be well organized about it. So yeah, when I create content, I try to have a clear idea of what I want before I start, because that will speed up post-production. If I have a
sure.
clear idea and I
Yeah,
know what I'm aiming for, I'll get there a lot quicker as opposed to just doing stuff and then seeing what is good, what can I piece together. You'll waste a lot of time that way.
yeah,
And then there's a time for everything. So I wrote about 15 songs and I finished almost all of them. I've released the first four.
yeah,
That was a process of 2 years where I wasn't doing a lot of social media. I was
sure.
focusing on recording, writing, um, and then obviously after that you have this period where you're releasing. That's when it will shift a bit, and you'll be more on social media to promote it, which is fine. And you just need to keep in mind that this stage will end at some point, and
Yeah,
that's when you need to be smart and get off your phone,
yeah,
and
yeah,
not keep using it even though you're done with your promotion campaign.
yeah, yeah. That's a great tip, mate. That's an actually
Yeah, and
that's
in
that's a great
between,
tip.
always try to limit it.
Yeah,
I kind of so, and it's so much to do with chemistry in your brain. When I'm
yeah,
bored, when I'm feeling sad or frustrated with progress and everything, that's when it's the hardest to resist,
sure.
and that's when I get dragged into my phone.
Yeah,
So I think generally trying to figure out why you're frustrated or sad or angry, try to figure that out and try to get to the root of it, as
so
opposed to just
your
doing
triggers,
innocent things.
you'd say your triggers, know your triggers that go into that, which is
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, knowing that, which is basic psychology. It's
yeah,
like
true.
basic
Yeah,
cognitive behavioral
yeah,
therapy. It's like what's your triggers? What do you actually need to fill in
yeah,
that space? So
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
And then also, I try not to be too hard on myself, because
sure.
then again, you have to give credit to the people who designed these things and these platforms. I mean, it's based on, a lot of knowledge about psychology and probably decades and decades of research into our brains. So
Yeah,
they've done a great job at creating a product that
yeah,
works really well.
sure.
So you need to be kind of forgiving to yourself that you
Sure,
get sucked into it every now and again, and not feel like you're failing again,
yeah,
because that will add to this frustration.
sure,
Um,
sure. Yeah.
I think that would be my my piece of advice. I don't know if it
No,
helps.
it's
Yeah,
that's really cool, and that's all for today. I wanted to congratulate you on your family as well.
yeah,
There's new members and expansions, and your move to Austria. And I just wanted to say, yeah, good luck with everything you have. I mean, all the details for where people can follow you will be
yeah,
online. I did put it beneath this post, and also. Your next shows in Berlin, I would suggest people coming and checking it out, or just following and listening to your music and what you have to say. Because
yeah,
you're somebody that says something. And it's not
yeah.
just. And I want you to know that you might, by you posting that video, you caught my attention.
Yeah,
So
amazing, bro.
it's yeah,
That's been great
yeah,
having this talk. Also,
yeah,
to me, you
yeah,
telling me I saw this song.
yeah,
I'm doing this little format. Do you want to
yeah,
come on? That
yeah,
has been really great feedback for me, and
yeah,
kind of I've been getting some nice feedback,
yeah,
and some
yeah.
haters too, which was great because I feel like once you
That's
get
always you have to
your
when you
first
get.
hate comments, then you're onto something, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's
So
good. You have to take
it's
it. You
been a
have to take
very,
both
very
sides.
positive,
Yeah,
like the release and everything. And thanks so much for having me. And I'm super excited about playing
excited.
with you sometime soon
Yeah,
because I
definitely.
remember
Whenever
our
you're
last
here.
little jam at
Yes, that
Randy's
was amazing.
release.
Yeah,
That was
that
so
was
much
amazing.
fun.
Yeah,
And yeah, I'm intrigued to. I didn't know about your format, so I'm intrigued
yeah,
to check it
yeah.
out and find
Well,
out how far.
you're the first. So
Oh, I'm the first. Sick.
I've been researching and speaking to
Cool.
musicians around the world for many years. But now I'm like, let me just put it on something short that people can
Nice.
that can get access to. So you're the first. So yeah, let's
Cool,
just see
man.
if
Yeah,
it reaches even
I'm
like
honored.
with your
Cheers.
videos, even like with your video, you caught my attention. So
Cool.
if this catches one artist's attention out there, that might be asking this question, then I feel we've done the job.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
agree 100%.
All
Nice
right.
one.
Johnny, take it easy. Have a great day, mate. And it was
Yeah,
so good
you
to chat
too.
to you. And I'll speak to you soon. All right. Peace,
Yeah,
brother.
see you soon. Cheers,
Ciao,
bro.
man. Bye.